In a small town nestled by the banks of the Ganga, the air was always heavy with incense, mantras, and the scent of marigolds. A temple stood there for centuries, protected by generations of Brahmin priests who had memorized every verse, every ritual, every do and don't dictated by the Dharma Shastras. The current temple priest was no different. He was proud of his discipline, his spotless white dhoti, his strict vegetarian meals, his daily baths in the sacred river at sunrise, and the precision with which he conducted every ceremony. To the villagers, he was the embodiment of righteousness. One morning, while on his way to fetch water for the day's puja, the priest noticed a strange figure sitting beneath the old tamarind tree near the cremation ghat. His body was smeared with ash, matted locks hung over his shoulders, and in front of him, a kapala, a human skull, sat filled with something he was calmly eating. The priest paused, disgusted. "These Aghoris," he muttered. "They defile everything sacred." He looked away, trying to ignore the figure. But something in the Aghori's gaze pulled at him. Not with arrogance, but with an unsettling stillness, as if the man had seen the end of things and smiled. For days the priest avoided passing that way. Yet curiosity has its own gravity. On the seventh day he finally stopped. "You sit here in filth, eating what no human should eat, sleeping among the dead. Have you no shame, no dharma?"
Shame is a garment worn by those afraid of truth. I have removed it.
"You speak as though you're enlightened, yet you drink from a skull."
Yes, because the skull does not lie. It says, "I too was a king, a lover, a priest, now I am none." What do your golden vessels say, that they shine more than your spirit?
"You mock the Shastras."
No, I live them.
"You live like a dog."
No, I live like one who has died before his death.
"If you are so wise, tell me, what is death?"
The question that makes philosophers write, kings weep and beggars laugh. Death, O priest, is not what you think. You fear the corpse, yet your soul rots every day, chained to reputation, ritual and rules. You wake at sunrise, but your consciousness still sleeps. Death is not the falling of the body, that is merely the event. Real death is when your identity shatters.
"We are given rules by the rishis. Dharma purifies the soul."
True, but rules are boats, not shores. Once across the river, you must step out. The rishis meditated in forests, far from temples, in silence that spoke louder than verses. They did not fear the cremation ground. They sat in it. They did not chant mantras to escape death. They whispered into her ears.
"I have bathed in the Ganga every day for 40 years. I have fasted on every Ekadashi. I have never spoken a lie."
And yet, you tremble at the sight of me. Not because I am impure, but because I remind you of something you've buried deep. A part of yourself that still fears, still doubts, still longs for liberation it cannot name. You have worn the mask of a priest for so long, you've forgotten the faith beneath it.
Then what is purity if not this?
Purity is not the absence of dirt. It is the presence of truth. I have eaten from the hands of death. I have fed lepers with these same hands. I have slept beside corpses and heard their final breath tell me secrets no scripture could hold. And do you know what I have learned? That there is nothing to purify, only to recognize. You are already that. You always were.
My whole life has been service.
To whom? To the God outside or the fear within?
I don't know.
Let me tell you something no temple will dare say. God is not found in bells or flowers. He sits silently inside your deepest pain, your darkest doubt. He waits not at the altar, but at the edge of surrender. And death is not his opposite. Death is his mirror.
Why me? Why are you telling me all this?
Because you're ready. The mask has cracked. Now is the time to see that you are not the priest, not the name, not the role. You are the witness behind the ritual, the fire behind the offering, the silence between the chants. You've served long enough, now know.
And what will happen to me now?
Nothing and everything. You will still chant, you will still serve, but now your hands will move with awareness. You will not just offer flowers, you will offer your identity. That is the true yajna, to burn the false self and let the ashes speak.
The priest rose slowly, almost like a man reborn.
And the Aghori walked away, into the shadows of the gut, into the laughter of the crows, into the arms of the night.
From that day on, the priest did not change his robes or his rituals. But something had changed. He no longer looked away from the burning pyres. He no longer avoided the beggars. He no longer feared the skull. And in the quietest moments, when he stood alone before the deity, he no longer prayed for heaven. He simply bowed
to that which neither lives nor dies, but only watches and waits within.